Welcome back, everybody, to the Exit Bro. I'm your host, Adam Anderson, here with Justin Moore, Paige Larson.
Hey, guys.
Nice.
See you again, yeah.
Nice. All right, get out.
Okay, yeah. Woo. I hope you guys watched video when you saw what just happened. Hey, guys, welcome back.
What up? How we doing?
Hey.
It's football season, so I'm just going to throw it out there. Go Dogs.
Sure, man. Yeah.
Go Big Red.
Georgia fan. It's weird.
There we go. There's the Go Big Red. Hey.
Oh, that's what you're looking for. Gotcha.
Hey, so.
Go sports.
Go
Yay,
sports.
that's me, yep.
Justin, you recently had a trip out to the Northeast. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. So it's been a while since we met.
Yeah, it's
Do we have anything we just want to brief real quick at all? You guys just got anything off your chest? Anything you need to get off your chest? It's been a few weeks.
Nothing too crazy.
Anything?
No.
Been a pretty
cool.
chill time in the aviation world, I think, so.
Well, except here in Nebraska, we did have two plane crashes in one day, overnight.
In one day, yeah.
And both in the Northeast. It was weird.
Yeah. And one, there's been information released about one, but the other one, they're not releasing information on, so it's kind of interesting.
All right, that's not what I was getting at, but that's cool. That's not cool.
It's got dark real quick.
There's Nebraska news right there.
Got dark immediately. But anyway, I wasn't alluding to anything. Just saying, in general, how we doing? We all feeling good? It's good to see you guys again.
You know what, guys? For you too.
Big
A big heart. Something like that, right?
Mine's just no. Yeah.
It's the thought that counts.
So see, when we met last, I had some upcoming travels. We were going to, so Randall and I we do like an annual trip each year.
Yeah.
We've done like Alaska in the past. Awesome. So this year we were going to the Northeast. So the goal of the trip overall was Randall's crossing off 50 states, all 50.
That's amazing.
All 50.
That's one of my
incredible.
goals, too, so that's
I
crazy.
think a lot of people have that goal, but it's a lot harder than a lot of people realize. It's a very underrated goal, in my opinion.
Yeah, like try to get to Connecticut. Try to get to Delaware.
Rhode Island.
That was a great thing about going to the Northeast. Knocked a lot of these out.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so this trip got there weren't many hiccups at all, besides for the very beginning. So the plan was to take Delta, go Omaha, Detroit to JFK to spend some time at home at the TW hotel.
Ooh.
But
My
immediately,
bucket
so like the night of, as I'm sure you guys do as well, obviously looking at the flight, seeing what kind of aircraft you have,
Yes.
all the good stuff. So it was like, I believe it was about 4 a.m. I woke up to a notification on the phone. Everything was fine the night of. Everything was fine. Woke up that next morning to like a 4-hour delay on the Delta flight from Omaha to Detroit. And it's one of those things when you wake up early in the morning, like you're half conscious, you're just like, 4-hour delay. Like,
Right.
all right, whatever.
Am
Just
I
kinda-
seeing this
just kinda
right?
like just trying to compute. Like just waking up, it's already like 4 a.m. So I'm coming to pretty quickly because we had a tight connection in Detroit. So 4-hour delay, obviously you're going to miss it. So in Delta fashion, I can't speak to all the other airlines, but at least on American and Delta, I know like they'll just automatically rebook you. Like, not do you like this? They'll just put you on the next flight. So the next flight was, unfortunately, out of Detroit was not until that next morning.
Ooh.
So I mean, our time spent at the TWO hotel was already planned to be short. It was only going to be about 48 hours, technically 2 nights. So I mean, we good here? You guys hear me good?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of a little. You want to check the bottom of your.
A little staticky. We're good. I'm going to continue on. So, so the time was already short at the TWA hotel. Obviously, you don't want to spend the night anywhere else, let alone in Detroit.
I know, right?
Anything else sounded kind of disgusting at that point. So
Even Chicago is better than Detroit. So.
yeah. So, unfortunately, I've been becoming kind of good at this, finding a flight within minutes of departure, it feels like, because I did this with the NBA Finals, found a flight within an hour to get on. So luckily, Omaha has a Omaha to LaGuardia flight that it was about 7:05 a.m. it leaves. There happened to be seats available. And it was not outrageously priced for being the morning of. Got both Randall and I on, snagged Randall a first class seat because he's the man. So
Heck
luckily
yeah.
that was there. And then I took one for the team and went in the back. But it was more about just getting to New York at this point.
Yeah.
The fact that there were even seats available and that they were reasonably priced, like can't overstate this. It was incredible how like cheap it was to get to LaGuardia within maybe 2 hours of departure time. So got on that flight. I mean, honestly, like I was tripping. Like you don't want to spend a night in Detroit when you only have, as a plane spotter, when you have 2 nights at one of the most awesome hotels possible. You don't want to lose.
Right.
Nights.
Yeah.
So
No.
I was tripping. So it was nice to get on that plane. So we went from CRJs to ERJ. It was Omaha to LaGuardia. Obviously, we flew into LaGuardia. Ubered over to JFK, which is obviously what you do, right? When you go to New York, you just immediately go to the next airport.
Yeah, or do what I did and did the 4-hour. Try to take the metro, the subway.
Because you went, didn't you do that as well? Or did you?
I was in
Yeah, I went to
Washington,
LaGuardia
D.C.
to JFK.
Right, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because I did think about that.
Yeah.
That's a different trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That wasn't on purpose, though.
So I flew into LaGuardia, Ubered over to JFK to the Promised Land, which was the TWO hotel. TWO hotel is awesome. So kind of pros and cons like everything. You know, the H hotel is kind of our standard, I would say.
Yeah.
Look, got a couple things to say here about the TWO hotel.
I've been there, so
I had a
I'm
great
going to hear you
time.
on this one.
So you spent like a night there, right? You spent a night. Like you got
I
the
spent
gist of it, right?
2 nights there, yeah.
Two
I've been there
nights.
2 nights there, too.
So luckily we had the legit rooms booked. Like these rooms look over the international, I guess what is part of the international ramp. Again, if there was no rooftop, these rooms are legit.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm going to keep referencing the H Hotel for those of you that know what we're talking about. You know, the H Hotel, the windows are like filthy. Like,
Oh, God,
if
yeah.
There's
They
one,
were.
if there's one con about the H Hotel, it's the windows.
That's about the only one, yeah.
And it always has been. They've always been that way. This is nothing new. But anyway, TWA Hotel, amazing, like floor to ceiling windows. And again, everything is in that 60s, 70s style, kind of like almost so much where like if you're not ready for it, it's a little sickening.
Yeah.
Like the purpose of the hotel is to take you back in time. And they honestly do that. It's incredible when you walk in, you do feel like, and again, it is the legit terminal from back in the day. Like a lot of people, I don't think realize that it is literally the terminal that TW operated out of.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I didn't even realize that, to be honest.
It's also in that movie, Catch Me. What was it?
Catch Me If You Can. Yeah.
Me
Tom
If You
Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I think Ocean's 8 has a couple scenes in there. Yeah, famous place for many reasons. But yeah, so, you know, obviously checked in, all that. They've got once you walk in, it's very cool. You know, they've got the actual old school boards that flip.
I've seen that before.
And those are real time. Those aren't just saying anything. Those actually have actual flight data, which is very cool. I think I'd be okay if more airports went back to that, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It was pretty
Some
cool.
nostalgia. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got in there a little earlier than check-in time. So able to park the bags, go upstairs for a little bit. Here's one of my gripes with the TWA hotel. And I think we mentioned it last time and you encountered it too, but they charge you to go outside and to just be there.
That's so
Yes.
stupid.
Even if you are, like, I could understand
Just
if you
to
were not even a guest. You were just there because they do have, like, you could do a mid-stay, a day stay there. So you could stay during the
Yeah.
day for 12 hours. I could understand them charging for just guests or non-guests, you know, like somebody just coming in.
If you're not staying there, I would totally get that.
Exactly. But since you're staying there, yes, they charge you.
I
And-
didn't know they charge you. I knew that there were scheduled times that you could be up there and you could only be up there for so long.
Right. So again, so that was kind of
Wow.
my fear going into this was like, I don't know how the reservations work. I didn't want to make them in advance either, not knowing exactly what was going to happen. So I didn't, which I'm glad I did. So, I mean, to fast forward a little bit here, it did work out. So to kind of, like I said, fast forward, I only paid the $25 once. So here's what I'll get at.
Oh my gosh.
So again, I only paid it once. You do have to check your bag with like a little tenant there. It's kind of like a valet service, but it's upstairs. You get off the elevators, you'll check your bags because they claim it's active airspace is why you can't have like your belongings with you, but yet you can take a massive lens out there and
Yeah,
and
right.
a camera. And again, from 7 a.m. to 10 or 10:30, it's like open gym, so you can take a backpack out there, but yet other hours of the day you can't. It's just very interesting rules up there. And again, it's not like it's $5; it's $25 for anybody.
And for how long does that get you?
So they claim it's an hour and 45 minutes, which I'm sure in maybe like peak summer times is probably pretty strict. Like they're probably pretty strict about getting people out there on a timely basis. But so the 2 nights that we stayed there kind of had the place to ourselves. Like it wasn't like Debbie, Tropical Storm Debbie had been coming up the East Coast, but
Oh,
luckily
yeah.
she kind of petered out. So luckily the forecast got a lot better, but it was still cloudy and we honestly had the place to ourselves, but there was never a point where like they came to me and they're like, you got to go. I'm sure that's happened to
nice.
people. I'm sure it has. Because again, they do have rules and I'm sure they've been implemented at times where they need to be. Right.
Yeah.
But again, it wasn't the most perfect weather, but it was, you know, as plane spotters, like if it's dry, we're going to work with it. And
Yeah.
The view up there is incredible. It really is. We had great takeoffs. They were taking off on the appropriate runways. Excuse me.
Runways.
One way.
ROAD. Because as JFK, you know, it's not we kind of get spoiled with LAX being that everything's right there and everything's visible
Yes.
versus JFK where you've got runways going to left to right, straight, diagonal, catty corner. They're going every which direction. So going back. So again, only paid once, which I don't know if I beat the system or if they just didn't care that day. Didn't care. Wasn't trying to find out either.
No.
But it was kind of cool. I'll go get my bag over here. But you did get kind of an old school little check. They would check your bag, and you would get. I'll pass it around, show and tell here.
Shoot.
give you one of these
Look
here.
at that. That's kind of like and this is like legit too. Like this
You would
isn't no
laminate it?
flimsy thing.
Right, if
This
you would
is like
say laminate that. It would be like a legitimate bag tag that you could use for your own.
right.
So you would get one of those every time you would go upstairs and check something.
Oh wow. It had like a number on it and stuff like that. I assume you've gotten that before, but I've never been there, so
That's right. That's right. Adama's known all this. This is nothing new to Adama, right?
right.
So how many times did you get charged?
I don't remember, but I know I was at least charged once for sure.
Right. Which is it's like I said, it's not $5. Like $25 is not
Right.
That is
nothing.
outrageous.
There's nothing to laugh about. And again,
No.
nothing there is cheap.
Nothing.
No.
Oh God.
Not even speaking about the rooms. For example, the gift shop downstairs. A lot of cool stuff. Got you guys some stickers there. And stickers was the only thing I got there because they have T-shirts and sweaters and shoes, weirdly.
Interesting.
Say TWO on them, but they have a sweater, for instance. A sweater at $295.
No.
A sweater at $295.
You know what? But I mean, think about this: with inflation and when
Nope.
TWA
No,
was
I don't care what
around.
you're about to say.
No. I mean, you got to think that this sweater came from the 1960s, so you have
No,
to.
they made it
inflate
within the
that price.
So wait,
You were
is
serious there for a second. I apologize.
okay. I was gonna say because as I said, I've never been there, so I'm like, is this for real? Like,
I don't care if Jesus Christ himself wore the sweater.
Right.
That
It's vintage, ladies and gentlemen.
that is so outrageous.
That was the most outrageous price tag I saw because I remember Randall hadn't brought like a coat or anything, and he was like, "Well, maybe I'll just run downstairs buy a sweatshirt or something."
Never mind.
And I was like, "Yeah,
That-
sure, go ahead." And he came back upstairs and he didn't have anything, and I was like, "What's going on?"
$700
He was like,
later.
"A sweater for $295," and I was like,
What?
"And no, I'm just
Who would
kidding.
pay that? That's
Yeah, that's
ridiculous.
more-
YOLO.
Great hotel. Like I say, pros and cons. It's not exactly on our short list to go back. Like again, the views are great, but just little things like that. Like there's always the '60s music playing. By the way, always.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
kind of neat.
Not everyone. It's okay. Here's my thing. It's neat until like that second day when you're
But it's
just
the
like
same
when you're
song.
when it's Groundhog Day when it's not so cute anymore. I guess is what I'm trying
Oh
to say.
yeah.
Like, I'm with you. It was cool when you step in for the very first time and you're like, this is incredibly cool. And then that second day when you wake up, you go to get a coffee and you're like, man, the '60s music again.
Here we go.
And by the way,
Literally stuck in time there. You are literally stuck in time.
and I'm pretty sure that coffee was like $10 too.
Oh, of course, yeah. Still paying for it. to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah. Threw a down payment on it. Had to check my credit score for a latte. But yeah, no, the airport was cool. I mean, do you guys have any questions? You've been there. Do you any questions from you on the TW Hotel? Great views. Like I said, I missed my yearly post, so I'm gonna have to wait till the next year to post on Instagram. But a lot of great,
never
a lot
too
of great, a lot of great shots there. Like I said, everything comes right there. Like the wings are literally going right by it's like you can go out there and grab it.
That is crazy.
It is really cool views. I would take the TWA Hotel over the H Hotel views if I'm going to be quite honest. Right now,
Wow.
That's my hot take. I'll take the H Hotel vibe, but the TWA views.
Yeah, because the vibes at the H are truly immaculate. Like,
Well, when an A380 literally can come up right next to you at
Yeah,
right.
nothing beats
like
this.
it taxis right by you at the
Well,
TWA.
I'm
I'm
not
sure.
even joking. Like you can literally grab the wing, like
Yeah.
if you really wanted to. So
Reach out and grab
I'll take
it.
the views of the TWA Hotel and mix it with the cheaper. That's a
The vibes of the
relative
H.
term. The vibes of the H.
Yeah,
And you have maybe the most perfect hotel in the world.
I would think so
And the
too.
rooms are sweet because I believe when you stayed there, you stayed not facing the airport.
Correct. I stayed actually facing all the
Oh.
the whistles of the police telling everybody to move because they
Killer
were
views of traffic,
constant
though.
there. Oh my God. I was looking over JetBlue, I think it was. Yeah, the
Wow.
JetBlue terminal over there.
No, so luckily I was on the 8th floor. I think Randall had 7, but 8th floor. It's only 8 floors high, so we had the top floor. I think there's only a handful of them that are this way. The rooms are small. If you're staying with someone in the room, it could get
Yes.
cramped.
Yes.
That's what I was going to ask you about. Is if you felt the same way about yours?
I did. I liked kind of the layout and the mood of it, and it kind of made me think
Yes.
of like a European mood with the layout, but it is so like it's small,
Totally agree.
Ugh.
and you spend
Awesome
so
vibe.
much money
Yeah.
for a small hotel.
I mean, they
room.
really give you the New York treatment in terms of like your rental fee.
yeah, you're basically
Yeah.
in a closet.
I'm glad you said that because I wondered what the other side was. If maybe we were just on a smaller side. But that's what Randall and I discussed the first morning afterwards. We're like, man, if someone was staying with us in the room, it would be tough.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
however, one of the
Wow.
really awesome things about the room was this is the only hotel I have ever stayed in. Like, I can only speak for myself, but
I think I know where you're going.
this is the only hotel I've stayed in where the bed is facing the window and not so. You know,
Yes.
like a lot of hotel rooms are more like oriented around a TV per se,
Yeah.
like around just like an object, like a TV.
Yeah.
This one, the TV is more like a microwave just over in the corner. Like the bed is facing the window.
Right.
What?
It is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That
yeah.
is
Coolest thing
crazy.
ever. And there's curtains, but who needs curtains? You're not going to shut.
You don't need those
I'm a guy who
No.
doesn't shut the curtains.
No.
I don't.
I don't
love to
either.
Fall asleep to the ambiance. You know
Yeah.
what I
Same
mean?
here.
But I'm just think about that for a second. Walking into a room and the bed is like facing the window, and the TV's over here to the right, just like, hey, I'm over here. Don't need it.
Right?
In fact, had the room not had a TV, we'd be cool. Maybe it would knock the price down $40. I don't know.
Right.
So anyway, like I'll kind of jump ahead because we did do a lot on this trip. But TWA Hotel, I would love to go back. Financially, probably not going to.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see some of all the like the kind of mini museums that they have, like all the history
There's a
that they have
lot
in
weirdly
there?
going on within the hotel.
Yeah.
We didn't necessarily see the museums, know where they're at, but it looks small on the inside, but there's really a lot going on in there.
There's so much space.
Of course, the iconic hallways, the
Yes,
red
that
tubes.
big red tube.
Those are sweet.
Yes. That's yeah.
Weirdly high incline on those.
Oh, yeah.
surprisingly. It's one of those things to see in a picture, but then when you're there in person and you're literally going uphill, like completely going uphill, it's kind of crazy. Yeah. But TWO Hotel, I'll give it 2 thumbs up, but I understand why it's not on people's short list anymore. Like it's cool. It's one of those things you got to experience. I get that. I'm not telling
Yeah.
anyone not to go, but I understand when you go and you're like, been there, done that
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of vibe. So that was my portion of the trip. That's the one I was obviously most looking forward to as the Av Geek. So we went to Boston the next day. We took the Acela. As you
Boston.
can see here, we have a little pamphlet here. Randall wanted everyone to know that he took this from the train. In case the authorities come looking. He took it, not me. He took it. And so anyway, you can see this if you want to show that, Adama. That's from the train, a little safety card there from the train. I don't know if train safety cards are as popular as plane safety cards, but maybe with the train crew. I don't know.
I've never seen one in a train before, so that's really interesting.
So the Acela, what we took was from New York to Boston. It obviously goes vice versa, Boston to New York. Makes several stops along the way, kind of like Brightline as we experienced in Fort Lauderdale. Makes a few stops like Providence, New Haven, a couple along the way. Speaking of knocking off all 50 states, that's a good way to knock off like states that you might never ever give to or spend time in.
Yeah, this is what I've been looking to do actually is
Yeah.
a train through some of those smaller northeastern
Yeah, taking
states.
a
Yeah.
from New York to Boston, you knock off Rhode Island, Connecticut, just boom, boom. Don't
Yeah.
spend any time there.
High and by.
Knock 'em out. So this train, the Acela, hits, I believe we peaked at like 155, 160.
Oh wow.
Like you thought the Brightline was fast. This thing
Fast boy.
gets moving, dude, and makes stops. Very cool. It's one of those things where, like, I think we mentioned it on the Brightline. You don't realize how fast you're going until you look out the window and you're passing traffic like on an interstate.
Yes.
You're like, hold up a minute, this is getting kind of wild. Acela was cool. Randall's a huge train guy. Loves the train. That was like his geek moment.
Is he gonna go see? Was it Big Boy gonna be here on Tuesday?
Was it Tuesday? I guess
Yeah,
I don't
Tuesday.
know. I mean, Big Boy's been here plenty of times, but yeah. I didn't know it was going to be here Tuesday.
Yeah, for those who don't know, that's a Union Pacific plane or train.
It's not a large human that we're referring to.
Yeah. Yeah,
Big Boy, our friend Fred. Yeah.
It's a large trend.
yeah, it's gonna be here
I
Tuesday.
guess I didn't know that. Anyway, cool. So anyway, we took the train to Boston. It's about a 4-ish hour ride in total. So we got to Boston, spent the day there, went to the Red Sox game that night. I was able to check off Fenway.
Ooh.
Thank you. Fenway was awesome. Kind of a typical Boston, like, kind of summer day. Just, it was super hot during the day and then kind of rained and misty at night, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Saw a Red Sox loss, but guess what? Didn't care.
Doesn't matter.
I was there for Fenway. I don't care if the game ended in a
Right.
tie, even if that's not possible. But you know what I'm getting at. So Fenway was awesome. The next day was the kind of the goal of the trip. We then rented a car took it up to Maine, Portland, Maine specifically. Basically, just kind of did a round trip. Went Boston to Portland, Maine. Spent the afternoon there. Cute little town, I guess is what you would call that. Cute little town, Kewt.
Yes.
Just very touristy. Just very touristy.
So cute.
Very touristy town. It was just more of just get to Maine, plant the feet, and make, Randall can plant the flag there and knock off 50. So round of applause there. Cool. Randall, shout out to you. Awesome. Being able to be there while he knocked off 50. I wanted him to be not alone. Because he does a lot of solo trips, as we all do. Nothing wrong with solo trips, but this is one that someone needs to be there to document.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, Randall. Knocked off all 50.
Yeah, shout out.
We turned around, came back to Boston, and I think at this point we're on Sunday. I'm sure there's some details I'm missing, but I mentioned the TWO hotel, the important part of the trip, the one that we're all here on the podcast
Yeah.
for. So the next day we flew Boston to O'Hare? Yeah, ORD, and then ORD back to Omaha. Now, flying out of Boston is I've kind of been doing some reading and research. This was my first time in Boston. I don't know if you've ever flown through Logan.
Yeah.
I have, yeah. Remember, I flew in the day that they had won.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Recently,
A220, yeah.
That's right. I will say one note about Boston. I think they have one of the more iconic towers of all time.
It's
Yes.
very iconic.
I think they've got maybe one of the best iconic towers.
For me, yeah, it looks kind of like, was it from Lord of the Rings? Like,
Lost me there.
yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
Words of Lord of the Rings. Right over
Yeah.
my head. But yeah, I think they've got one of the more recognizable towers too. Like this one you see it, you know exactly what airport it is.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, like I said, flew this time we were on American. Like I said, back to O'Hare. A lot of good traffic in Boston. Like it's one of those things when on the West Coast you just see airlines that you don't typically see over there.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Bermuda Air, for instance.
Bermuda, Cape Air.
Lufthansa flies the A340.
Yes.
600 there. Unfortunately, they only get the 300, the hair dryers, but they get the 600 in Boston.
That's one I have yet to see, actually.
Man, that thing is real nice. That thing
Yeah.
is so sweet. I love that thing. And we got a real special treat as we were taxiing out. We ended up being about an hour late in total, but we got to taxi out and had to wait because the A340 600 had to go in front of us. Excuse us.
Oh darn.
Excuse, like I just always think about people on that flight. They're like, "What is this massive plane?" I'm just like, you just have the windows like this.
Right.
So that was sweet. So again, shout out to Randall. We had a great time as always. Can't wait to see what's next with us. Again, now that he's done all 50, he's probably bored. It's on to countries now. I
Yeah,
guess,
countries.
Yep.
It's on to all countries. But anyway, that's also a personal goal of mine. Who knows when we'll cross it? Maybe tomorrow. Maybe 20 years from now. Maybe 40 years. Who knows? But anyway, great trip. Had a great time. Hopefully I didn't fly through this too fast. I'm sure there's things I didn't mention that I should have. But hey, it was a great time. It was a great time.
Good. That's awesome.
No regrets. Never any regrets.
Not even a letter.
No, not even a letter.
So kind of piggybacking off Boston, I had sent you both, and I didn't know that at Boston they have 2 flags that are planted on 2 of the
Yeah.
gates.
I had known this before, yes.
I knew that one, yeah.
From 9/11. So no memorial, just 2 gates, and it's like B-17 and like C something.
It's super cool. Yeah, actually. It's very cool.
I think one of them is occupied by Southwest now.
Yeah, it could be.
If I remember right.
But yeah, so
We did check out the Sapphire Lounge out there. That's where I sent you guys that picture.
hey, I know about that
Yes.
Sapphire Lounge.
Yeah.
That's where that. Remember when I told you about how like that was the first time I ever took a shower in a.
Oh, that's where you showered for the first
Yeah, it was right there
Oh,
in the
wow.
the Sapphire
hell, man.
Lounge. So that was
I
pretty.
realized that was the side of Adama's first shower.
First shower ever. Yeah.
First shower
lounge
ever.
shower. First lounge shower, I should say. I mean, that lounge was slammed as per usual. I mean, it was insanely, stupidly busy.
Yeah, because everybody has a Sapphire card, so
Everybody.
just kind of like at the Amex Platinum, everybody has one. So
Yeah.
That's funny that was your first shower experience. That's funny because I remember I was wandering around and I saw the showers. I wish I would. I know that I. Now that you bring it up, I remember that. But I would have been like, shower number 2. I would have been like, this is the one where it happened.
this is where Damo.
The iconic
So-
Adama shower.
So actually,
Iconic stall.
and at that place, they actually have showers that are in the spa area too. So I did it.
Oh.
It is an impressive lounge. It was like weirdly like international day, so the food was like, but they got an espresso machine and stuff like that, so it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, love that. So real quick, let's talk about Paige and I. So in the last podcast, I said that I was going to go out to Phoenix. I didn't because I was trying to knock off Allegiant. Happened to cancel that flight just due to weather that was going to impede my flights back. and then some schoolwork. So didn't do that. But Paige and I, we did go to Lincoln.
Lincoln, yeah.
Yeah, because they had a bunch of old planes come in.
Yeah, some more birds. They had the most iconic one, Fifi.
Fifi.
The B-29 Super Fortress? Is that what it's called?
It's B-29. I don't know what's
29, really.
Super Fortress.
Something Fortress. I'm pretty sure that's correct.
It's a B-29.
Yeah, it's B-29.
So that was cool. We got to see it start up. And that was cool to see like each engine, each one, start up. And something I noticed about Fifi, and you would not notice this unless you were up close to it, each engine is named.
Yes.
And each engine is named after a celebrity. I didn't get too deep into it, but older time celebrity back from when this plane was, in its prime. And so that was really cool. Of course, I said we got to see the startup, and then when it was right beside us and it taxied, and so that the backside of it was pointing towards us. So we got the jet blash, as AVL says.
Nice.
Yeah, except it was prop blashed.
Yeah, it was pretty funny too because people weren't expecting it, and I was, and I knew it was going to happen. And
I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't thinking of it for some reason, but you saw all these hats and jackets just go flying out. And
Was this an air show?
no, it was just a fly-in.
Collection of
flying, yeah.
You know how it is. EAA, they come in and they're like, "Hey, spend $1,000 and you get to go fly on the plane for."
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I did.
Were they giving rides on that Fifi?
They were.
They were crazy expensive.
People went on it, but when it did take off, and it only.
It didn't go as far as it usually did.
Right. So it would. It was supposed to go to over where the SAC Museum was, which the SAC Museum, it's like 30 minutes up the road from Lincoln. This one actually stayed in Lincoln when we flew. By the way, if you actually flew that, Fifi did fly over to the SAC Museum, which is the Strategic Air Command Museum, it would have actually flown over another B-29, which is over there.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, B-29, meet another B-29.
Hi, friend.
But it ended up having some problems, so it came back. And so it only flew right along the runway and just did a quick pattern work, landed, and they didn't let anybody come onto the plane afterwards.
Yeah, because they were supposed to be giving cockpit tours, but you announced that, there's an issue, and you saw the people working on it right away, and they had the fire trucks rolling there when it landed, so.
You mean this 80-year-old plane had an issue? No way.
What?
What?
Yeah. So, but Fifi was there.
Yeah.
And we saw a few other planes. Wasn't Gunfighter there? I think Gunfighter was there.
The P-51 Mustang.
Yeah.
That was there, yeah.
Which was also the Lincoln Air Show, so back-to-back weekends. Yeah, but it was pretty neat. We also met Tanner, so shout out to
Tanner
Tanner.
Scott's Planes, yep.
And other than that, that was that.
It was a pretty chill time, yeah.
So glad that you had an amazing trip out there to the Northeast, there, Justin.
Oh, yes.
With Randall,
yes, I did,
and you didn't take Redway out there, so.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Since they don't exist.
Yeah, did not. No.
Yeah.
So they might have come in clutch. Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, I think they would have, given your situation, had they had flights out there, so.
Hypothetically, we'll say they would have come in clutch. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, well, on that note, we're going to take a quick break, and then we will be right back.
BRB.
BRB.
Welcome back to the exit row.
The
Adama,
one and
Paige,
only.
Myself, Justin here. All right, so let's see. I covered a trip to the Northeast. You guys, this last weekend, I mean, I saw the Thunderbirds once or twice, but you guys actually dove deep into the local air show that was here. Is that correct?
Very deep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Very
we did.
I thought he was going to do it.
I was like, please don't. Please stop.
Hey, guys, we are the exit row. No, I'm not
The
gonna
exit row after dark.
I'm not doing my NPR voice. Yeah, so
the floor is yours.
So we did go to what was it? It's called the Defenders of Freedom Air and Space Show.
Yeah.
Off at Air Force Base.
And we went to practice Friday.
We did. We did see some of the practice in the afternoon on Friday, which was a cloudy day on a dirt.
Cloudy in the beginning, but then it got sunny.
Yep. So for those who don't go to air shows, I will always give you a hint. Always go on Friday if you want to avoid the crowds. If you can go get outside the base. If you can get on base, perfect. You know
You could
somebody.
go on base Friday, though,
Yeah.
couldn't you?
What?
It wasn't open Friday though, right?
The base was open on Friday. Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I thought it was just Saturday, Sunday. See,
Well, to
here's
the
what I know.
public, it wasn't open on Friday.
Yeah.
And that's why I said if you can get somebody to bring you on Friday,
Yeah.
then
Here's a hint. If you can get on, go.
go. All right. So if you go on Friday, you get to avoid all the crowds. You could do
It was open, not to the public.
not to the public. So Friday went outside the base and just looked at the air show from out on a dirt road next to the farms. Literally, there was farms. Funny.
It's kind of nice.
It was
Yeah.
soy and seeing the Thunderbirds was kind of funny. And
It
so
was like the best of both worlds for me too, because coming from a farming family and then seeing the aviation was nice, a familiar feeling for me, and got to meet my friend Tyler and I watched aviation on Instagram for the first time. He came down from Indianapolis to watch this air show.
and what was his grandpa? That was his grandpa.
His uncle.
His uncle, phenomenal dude. He actually, hilarious guy. He also was on the night watch, so I think he was an old command chief of the
In the Navy.
operations center. So,
Yeah, the old E4B flyer over here got to meet a fellow E4B flyer from back in the day.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty nice. He had an old polo that had like the
night
old
watch,
stitching
yeah.
of the E4B, so that was pretty cool. So then Saturday we went back to that same spot because usually for air shows I try to avoid on Saturday. So this kind of going
Crazy
to lead
busy,
into the poll later. I tend to avoid, just like at Lincoln last year, I went on Sunday instead of Saturday because the church crowds are usually you don't have everybody's on church on Sunday.
yeah,
Not
so they'll go
everybody, but-
Saturday, and most people do go Saturday.
Right. And so that's kind of why on Saturday we stayed outside the base, watched from the dirt road, saw the whole air show, hung out with a bunch of people that were out there on the dirt road. I wish people would slow down.
Yeah, they were going a little quick by all these people because both sides of the dirt road were lined up with vehicles, and people had, their lawn chairs out on the side of the road. Someone almost hit a kid. They had to slam on the brakes. It was
We tried to get to you.
yeah.
The ice cream man did come out. That
Yeah,
was a
the ice
smart
cream
idea.
truck. An ice cream truck. And we heard that like the ice cream siren or whatever the heck they play outside. I was like, is that the ice cream truck? Yeah, just driving down the dirt road and a bunch of people lining up. It was really smart actually because it was very hot.
Yeah.
We
it
had
was a
like
miserable day.
hundreds all 3 days. Yeah.
And then, Sunday just stayed out there the whole day, watched the air show. Justin, you were going to try to come out, but you decided to stay in Bellevue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were a little far away, sorry.
It was
Yeah.
there was a lot of traffic, and unfortunately, the air show had a lot of issues with that day.
Yeah.
People trying to get onto the base, it took them about 3 hours because it's not open to the public.
Yeah, those stories made the news. The shuttle bus lines were epic.
Yeah,
As expected, though. But
And that's why people were passing out due to heat-related illness. And what they transported like 100 people or treated over 100 people for heat-related illness, and one person like a code 3, which is like critical.
it didn't help that all those shuttle buses were school buses that don't have air conditioning.
Right.
Yeah, right. Oh
Didn't really
God.
make a lot of sense, but yeah.
so they did not do a really good job with that. And
On Saturday, apparently Sunday was better.
Sunday was better.
Ironically, it was hotter on Sunday, but
Yes.
it was better.
Thankfully, it was better. Yeah.
It was much hotter on Sunday. So the air show got a lot of flack for that, and it being a military installation, it was kind of what's going on here? Why is this such a problem? And granted, obviously, it's you're on the apron or tarmac of an airfield, and so it's concrete, and people
It's gonna
are
be
just-
hot.
It's
Yeah.
just a massive public event in general. You're going to have issues.
Right.
It was also epically hot.
Yep.
People
Yeah.
aren't prepared.
Well, and one of the things that they did say on Sunday was, if you have a water bottle, put water in it, because they were telling people don't bring water.
Yeah, it's typical. Yeah, typically they'll say don't bring water, but they wanted to maximize the amount of water they had in their canteens or reserves or whatever where you could refill your water. So they said, come with your water bottles already filled, and we're gonna let you through.
Yeah,
because it
and
was so hot.
and bring those electrolytes, which obviously
Yeah.
is an important thing. People don't realize that they drink the water, but they forget you need some electrolytes. So if you're definitely sweating, you need to replace that.
Yeah.
So health related on the side.
PSA from Adama.
There you go.
Oh, electrolytes, got it. Gotcha.
Get your
Yes.
electrolytes. But then on Sunday, it was much better. to get on to. I don't know about the traffic to get on base, but since I had the ability, since I work on base, I was able to get onto the installation with my car. Parked. We walked out to the to where all the to the tarmac.
Well, the static displays were.
There you go. And so, yeah, like when you go on Sunday, there's not many people there, so you have better opportunities to take better pictures of the aircraft, and you're not just, you just don't have all the people.
Yeah.
I try to avoid people. I don't like people a lot.
Relatively speaking, there's still a ton of people there.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, you make it sound like there's only 20 people there.
Well, and it was easier to get on these aircraft too. So we were able to go inside the C5 Super Galaxy and the KC-135R Stratotanker. I sat in the cockpit, which was super awesome, of the KC-135. We went all around the inside of the C5. And that would have been a lot harder to do Saturday, I feel like, because of how many people there were.
Right.
So that was like one of the highlights for me going to that show. And the KC-135 has that window, that one like long, I guess, window on the side where you can take like a wing view picture almost. So that was.
I saw it. Looks like Adamo took a bunch of pictures of you at every plane I saw.
Yeah. I was like, I need my picture in here. This is so cool. But yeah, just getting to step onto those planes was so awesome. Like, not many people get to do that. So.
And what did you say about the C5? You said something to me while you were out there. You said that this was the first time you ever stepped on board a
4-engine aircraft.
Nice.
So yeah.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, C5, massive aircraft.
They are crazy huge.
Thick boy.
They're
Thick and
so-
large.
Yeah, so the C5, that was there you go. Yeah. We also met up again with Night Watch Aviation and his
Tyler,
uncle.
yep.
Yep, Tyler and his uncle. They were there for a short amount of time, then they took off. We were able to see the Omaha Soaring Club was out there, which that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they fly the gliders around Blair.
Up there in North Omaha. Yeah,
It
near
is
Blair.
yeah.
So we were able to see them. We were able to see about the. There is a movement right now going on in Nebraska with the aviation pilots. I don't have the organization right here, but they're trying to get a new license plate. So they're trying to get people to sign up. I think it was $70 is what you get for the license plate. And it's going to be, support Nebraska aviation. So they're going to have like 5 different plates that you can vote on to be the final submission of the plate. But I guess all you need is 250 people signed up, and then you can get a plate here in Nebraska. Yep. So that's pretty cool. And then what else? I mean, it was pretty chill. Walking around there, able to see everything real quick and easy. They had bouncy houses, so
Yeah, that was interesting.
Did Paige go on one?
I was trying to get her to go, but she said no.
I was like, I'll put Aileron in the bouncy house.
We also saw Pablo, Omar. He was.
Omar was there.
We ran into him, that was pretty cool.
Yep.
Other than that, I think that's it. It's much better, obviously, to be there on base watching the air show compared to being on the outside. But if you're just there to watch planes and just have fun, then you don't have to go through all the traffic and all the people.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we were doing on Saturday too.
Yeah, it's just
I didn't have any interest on being on base, but I wanted to see it.
Yeah,
you don't have to go through the headaches of getting on base. Absolutely.
You can go to a regular bathroom. You don't have to use a porta john.
You can leave when you want.
You can leave whenever you want
You
to.
don't have to take a sweaty shuttle bus.
You can be air conditioned in your own car if you want.
Well, and the nice thing about doing it the way we did is, all the things you just said. And then if we went Sunday, just to go see those static displays and leave, we don't have to deal with the leaving traffic. How horrible it would be getting out of there,
Oh yeah, it was real easy to get off base.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
and
That was also thanks to you, though.
yeah, that is a perk of that of being an employee of the government.
Yeah.
But even I think the base or the shuttles they did better because they even brought in like the coach vans.
Learned from Saturday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they also had a beer garden and a tent that they put up 2-3 more tents, trying to make more money off people, $40 to be in the tent, a shaded tent. But they needed more of that, I think. These air shows, they obviously are trying to capitalize on money. So if they provide a free show, they want to make more money off of.
Exactly. Kidding me?
Hey, you want shade? You don't want to die? Here you go.
Because they know people are going to pay it.
Exactly. I mean, I even debated getting the photographer There was
It was like the
photographer
table or
one,
whatever, I think. Yeah.
but in the end, I didn't. So, which was money not spent. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Paige, you have anything else about the air show you want to talk about?
Well, that was
what
my
was your
first
favorite? Yeah, like
favorite. I would have to say I really like the C-17 flying around because, if you've ever seen that plane fly around, especially air shows, the banks that plane is able to do is crazy. So that was really cool. The Army Golden Knights parachute team, that plane did a low pass by us on Friday during practice before it
They
landed.
fly like that Dash 8. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that was cool for it to do a low pass for us. We got a couple wing rocks from the Thunderbirds. So this was my first time seeing the Thunderbirds. I've seen the Blue Angels. We went up to Sioux Falls last year to try and see the Thunderbirds, but we got there in an hour after the show started. They canceled for weather. So
Yep.
being able to see them finally was nice. And then the other highlight, as I mentioned earlier, was getting to tour that C5 and KC-135. So getting to step foot onto those planes, really see what it's like, go up to the cockpit, just saying that I've been on that aircraft is really cool.
That got me thinking, not to change subjects, but going back to JFK, thinking of what my favorite thing I saw was. It wasn't necessarily like a notable aircraft, but it was seeing the longest flight in the world, which is Singapore to JFK.
Yes.
18.5 plus hours.
On the A350?
A350-900. That was my most notable.
A350-900.
Not that it's, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Not that it was Singapore or an A350, but just that it was the longest flight in the world. That was
Right.
That was one of my main goals to catch.
Like 19 hours? That's crazy.
Yeah,
Can you imagine?
Just between 18.5 and 19, yeah.
I can.
I mean, you
Because
can.
I've done I've done
Me
that
and Justin
24.
can't.
Talking about most people in the world.
Yeah, right.
So the Doomsday plane, getting me be able to photograph that wasn't just nothing.
No, that was a highlight because I've always wanted to catch
We see
that
it every
in
day
action.
around here, though.
We do, but a lot of people just have cell phone, quality pictures, or they don't really get to actually photograph it, even with their cell phones. You're really up close and personal to the E4B.
Right, and that was cool because we saw the E4B in Lincoln last year on static display, which was super, super cool to be that up close to it, and then getting to see it actually fly and photograph it because the only pictures I've ever gotten of it was just standing or crazy far away from me.
Yeah.
So finally getting that flying up close was really, really nice as well.
And then on Saturday, the E3 came up.
Yeah, the E3 Century.
Yes, and it came up and actually did it actually went to 2 air shows that day. It stopped in Wichita.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
And then it came up to us, and then I don't know where else it landed. But interesting, the next day, Wichita, McConnell, they had to cancel that air show due to the winds.
Yeah, that was super sad.
All those people who went out to go see, the Blue Angels and all that. Well, yeah. If you saw what just happened,
Yeah.
some aircraft got damaged there because the winds were actually.
And I hope that they all can be repaired, But our Constant Phoenix was down there, and it came back the next day. I saw that.
Yeah, it's constantly good.
Wow.
One dead.
I tried. So.
And one thing to know, at least for me anyways, about the E3 Century is that it did have sunscreen on. It had a little boop the snoot. Its radome was white.
Sweet.
I've never seen that on a military aircraft before, so that was kind of neat.
I guess I don't see enough military aircraft to say if that's rare or not. I'm sure it's rare. I don't know how rare, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now. So, anything else you want to talk about with the air show?
Nothing I can think of. I think we covered a pretty good basis of it. So
Okay, all right. Well then, and Justin, you already talked about your part. You were with Randall, right?
Sorry, what?
You were with Randall for the air show.
for the air show, yeah, that Saturday.
No, on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Yeah, I didn't see
Oh.
him Saturday. On Sunday, though.
Yeah, and
Randall went both days, though. Yeah.
and then on Sunday you said
We got together on Sunday, and we went to a spot where they forced us to leave, but we
The
still caught the Thunderbirds.
there you go.
Yeah, Thunderbirds. Yeah.
Okay, well then on that note, let's go ahead and I think it's time for Paige's polls.
Take it away, Adama.
Paige's polls. Paige's polls. Paige's polls. I mean, you could join.
That's your thing, man. That's I don't want to kill the. I don't want to kill your twos vibe. No.
You're not. All right, Paige.
All right. So, the poll, we have a couple polls this week. Our first one is, when booking a trip, how far in advance do you prefer to book flights? Less than a month, 2 to 4 months, or greater than 4 months? And reasoning. 2 to 4 months was at 62%, greater than 4 months at 21%, and less than a month at 17%. So we did have a little bit, just a few responses on this one. So XRS54 said non-rev, which I assumed was probably going to be the majority of less than, 2 weeks or 4 months. And, because obviously that's kind of the only option they have. Armin V, CPT, said want to be able to sleep at night, which was greater than 4 months. So not having to worry about prices going up and all that stuff. Lucy Romero says simply to have it secured, which is one of the reasons why I do it. I'm a 2 to 4 months person. Brian Weed also mentioned the standby flying. Matthew Little G, 2 to 4 months is about as far in advance as I schedule things. And Walker Nixon said better prepared. And then my mom actually chimed in on this one.
What up, Paige's mom?
Paige's mom.
She said, longer, I tend to forget the exact date I book it. Ask Paige, last minute crap seats. So yeah, we did accidentally book the wrong date for our Dallas trip last year and had to reschedule a week out. So
Wow.
luckily that worked in our favor because the flights actually costed less, which is not typically how it goes.
It happens from time to time, but yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah, that was that poll. What are you guys on this?
I mean, the idea is born months in advance on most trips, but I typically plan maybe a couple weeks away.
Woo, that's cutting it close.
Now it depends. Like if I know I'm gonna do something for sure, like set in stone, like I know what I want to do for sure,
Yeah.
then it's probably booked out a few months away. But if I'm toying around with ideas and I don't necessarily have like a certain route I know I want to do, then that's when it's different.
Gotcha. All right.
I tend to probably book 2-3 months out in advance. Like you said, crap seats,
Yeah.
it just depends. But I've been known to just go ahead and I want to go to Phoenix for the weekend. So, never mind.
Yeah. Some of those like last minute things where if you find a good deal last minute, I'll do that, within like the 2 weeks or whatever. But I'm kind of on that 2 to 4 months as well. Seating and pricing too, because of course price goes up closer you get. So
Right. That's not always true though. That's a little bit of a myth, but it's not
Correct.
always true.
yeah.
Now,
It's natural, yes.
one of the things I'll tell people and what I do is I'm always like rebooking the same flight. And
Yes,
so what
I
I
will do
do is
that.
I will go to Google Flights and I'll have it like remind me or notify me when the price does change.
I've always related it to like a sporting event. Yes, rule of thumb is ticket prices are going to go up the closer it gets, but it doesn't hurt to keep looking. As
Correct.
well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I do too as well.
Because as I've mentioned on the last few podcasts, I've booked flights within hours of departure, and the tickets are not bad.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
It's just if you're smart about it, just keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
okay to book and keep an eye on the price.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's okay to rebook. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you'll either get travel credit back, or if you booked with points, they'll automatically refund you those points, the difference, because that's
make
what
sure
I've done
when
with
you
Southwest.
Cancel.
So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I just go in and rebook, and Southwest they'll rebook you on the same exact flight and give you the points back. So
Yep. I like having my money back. So,
exactly.
all right. Question number 2.
Poll number 2 is: do you have any air show rituals? Which kind of goes with our segment we just talked about. Yes at 53%, no at 47%, and then what are they? We just had a few responses to that one. The Neverland Pixel said, show up early for a spot. Yes, definitely that.
And that's what Pablo did. He got right there in front. He had the front row. So
Yeah, he had the
It's also
front
there on
row.
Sunday where it's 1,000 degrees. So
Right.
really nasty.
a ritual though, or more of just like a tip. I guess like
You could say it's both. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so. I just don't go to a lot of air shows, so I guess I don't know what this question meant, to be honest.
Yeah, so this was more I guess it was tough for me to word, at least more for people who go to air shows frequently. Is there something that you do every time that makes it easier for you?
You
Something,
do a rain dance, like that sounds like a ritual. Like
yeah, kind of.
it's hot out. I typically do my rain dance at 2 p.m.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, a ritual you do every show. Like, what is something that you would tell people to do every show that would help?
You're kind of getting at like pro tips. What's a
Yeah.
air show pro tip? That's kind
Yeah.
of what you're getting at.
And then jet set shirts, listening to the Top Gun soundtrack when you roll up on the show.
God, so I created a bingo card for something, and that was one of the things.
That
I
was,
Did
yep.
you create that?
yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know you actually created that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
created the bingo card.
Yeah.
It's an air show bingo card, and one of the things was Top Gun. You're going to hear Top Gun, and of course the Top Gun theme, Danger
Yeah.
Zone, and sure enough, you hear it
Yep.
every time.
Oh yeah.
And they played it there, of course, on Sunday.
did,
so
they did,
They
yeah.
played Danger Zone. And then Walker Nixon said, wear aviation-related clothes and gear. So I do agree with that, which I did. Do y'all have any aviation show rituals?
Mine is what I talked about Sunday. I think that's typically it.
Yeah.
Just because again, static displays, it's less people.
Yeah. Be prepared. Bring your clear backpacks because that's usually what they allow. Bring your water, your electrolytes, sunscreen. Yes. Cooling towels. I had a cooling towel on Sunday and Saturday, which was a massive help. Yeah, just be prepared. Be prepared for the weather. Be prepared for, how long you're going to be out there. Bring a lawn chair so you have a place to sit.
Bring a neck gaiter.
Yeah, neck gaiter.
Yeah, that.
What's a net gator?
So, what is it, like the buffs?
It's like if you watch Survivor, it's kind of like the buffs. It's like
little-
a spandex elastic like thing that it's like, and it can be used as like a headband. People use it as headbands too. But you can put it around your neck and it keeps the sun off, keeps you cool, wicks sweat, like
Dirt out of your.
Yeah.
Cooling item. Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I do that to protect my neck from the sun. So
Yep.
just like just like in LA, you were like, hey, I wear a long or was it?
The long sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
All right. So yeah, that's that. Those are my tips, or whatever. Yeah.
Your show tips. Yep.
Okay. All right. Anything? Were there any other polls?
Nope. That
That
would
was it.
conclude Paige's polls. Yep.
All right. That's the end of Paige's polls. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and talk about our future travels.
This is a big one, guys.
I think we're traveling.
Are we?
Yeah. What we've got Spot LAX that we're headed to next.
That's coming up hot.
2 weeks from tonight, the night we're recording Friday, is the party at the top of the H with AVL and diecast model giveaways, which Kevin says there's going to be about 4 times as many planes to give away this year. So crossing our fingers, one or all of us get one.
One of us. One of
She's been
us.
planning her outfits months. Speaking of planning in
I
advance,
have
you've been
been.
planning your outfits months in advance.
Oh, yeah. I plan my outfits so far in
I
advance,
don't know
it's
what I'm gonna wear
ridiculous.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know what I'm going to wear tomorrow, but this is a big event. I got things planned out. So I got my flying outfits picked out. I'm going to be, me and you, Dama, we're going to be on the A350. This is my first time on the A350. And, oh, yes. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this particular flight for so long because of the A350.
That's weird. You've never mentioned it. Huh?
Right. Yeah, like never ever. Like this is only the 1,000th time.
Yes.
I have my outfit picked out for that already. I have my Friday night party outfit picked out. I have Saturday, Sunday, Monday to planned out. So
Sweet.
super excited.
Yeah. So we're all flying to LA to Spot LAX. We're flying out Thursday. You're flying out Friday.
We're all flying a heavy out there.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
And then leaving.
So I guess I'll mention it. So I'm taking the 777-200 out there.
Good.
United. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's all about you.
Please
I
get
it.
that in.
It's all about you guys.
Please get that in.
Please, yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, that's big.
that was the plan before the NBA Finals happened. So luckily, there's no NBA basketball on the schedule, so this one should happen.
Yeah.
There's no NBA Finals in the next
Yeah.
couple weeks. But yeah, 777-200. I've flown the 300 variant, not the 200. So
Nice.
that's the reason for this guy.
Heck yeah. And yeah, so we'll be out there for Spot LAX. Can't
York
wait to
Fest.
meet a bunch of people. and
That'll be
Dorkfest.
so cool. So cool. Yeah, Jet Set Shirts is going to be out there, and he actually is supplying shirts for Spot LAX. So go over to his profile and jetsetshirts.com. Get some Spot LAX shirts if you're planning on being there. Or if you're not planning
Or even
on
if you're
being
not,
there,
yeah.
get a shirt.
And he's also doing custom orders where you can put your Instagram handle on the
Yeah.
back. So
Let me guess. Paige is going to do that.
I did not, actually.
Oh, whoa.
I'm actually working with him to formulate my own
oh,
Instagram handle, clothes and attire with a little bit of a logo. Yeah.
more to come.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so the exciting part. Let's talk about us leaving. I mean, it's
wanna talk
not.
about you
It's
leaving.
not exciting to leave. But
You want to
I'm
talk about
saying-
you leaving.
Yeah, I was going to say, come on now.
So how about real quick? We'll just get ours out of the way so you
Yeah.
can have the floor, Dama. So you,
Yeah, jeez.
ladies first.
Southwest, my BB. I will be,
Of course.
as it stands now, flying the MAX from LAX to Phoenix, and then the 737-700 from Phoenix to Omaha.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yep.
blanked out there. for a
Southwest.
second.
Yep.
Southwest is just so great. It
Yeah,
just
Monday
blew
is-
your mind.
On Monday, I'm going.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh, whoa. Take a deep breath.
So going
Just breathe.
Calm down, everyone. It's Southwest. I know. It's really crazy.
It's been
But
too long since you've flown Southwest. I need to get back on that.
I know.
So,
It'll be almost 3 months by the time I fly that. I've
same
flown.
that same Monday, I'll be taking Alaska via Seattle back to Omaha.
So the
Nice.
ERJ up to Seattle and then
No,
737.
737's all the way.
Oh,
37s
gotcha.
both ways, yeah. Sweet. I still need to take Alaska, so I
Me
got to
too.
find a Alaska and Allegiant flight this year because
Your goal.
I'm going to Honolulu for a day. It's only a day because I do plan on going to Hawaii for a longer trip next year. But yes, so I'm going to go ahead and leave LA on HA1, Hawaiian Airlines
Sweet flight
1.
number.
Ha one.
Okay, and then but the return flight is the 787.
Nice.
Ooh.
The
Sweet,
next
that's gonna be
day,
awesome. Ha
Hawaiian
too.
Airlines 2 from Honolulu back to LA. And then I'll fly back. I'll go up to Detroit and then come back to Omaha. So
The
right back
Delty.
on.
Heck yes, that's gonna be sweet, dude.
I'm excited, and I may have purchased the first class part on the 787. So
So you did.
yeah, I did.
There's
I wanted
no
that
may have.
experience.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Embrace it, man. Why
Yeah.
even flirt around that? Say it.
So I am very excited to.
Because those Dreamliners are new.
Yes,
They're babies.
they are
Baby
babies,
planes.
less than a year. So I'm super
So
excited.
cute. Make sure you give it some pats.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I will do that. And I of course had to choose the window. So because I'm not an aisle guy,
No.
I'm not going to be an aisle.
I mean, what the heck?
Did that even really need to be said?
I just have to throw it out
Like,
there. I saw somebody post that
what?
earlier today on TikTok about when you're more mature and get older,
Oh,
you go
I've
from
seen that.
window to the aisle because
What,
I
you mean you saw something on TikTok that is
Y-
possibly something
Yes,
you
I've
disagree
seen
with?
that too. I've
Wait.
seen
You know
someone
why?
post
Saw
that.
something on TikTok
and
that
then
you
in
disagree
the
with?
remarks it's because I have to pee a lot. I'm like, well, yeah, I do too, but you know what? I don't care. I'm window and I'm going
This
to
is
make
what
a
I
move.
want, and I will stand by
You're
it.
saying a TikTok video is not universal in how everyone agrees? No way.
Right?
So
I will die on the hill of wanting window every time.
so yeah, super excited. But I'm excited that we'll be out in LA together. So love it.
Excited. So excited to see all the guys in AVL
Isn't it
and my
crazy when I
friends
brought
and
this idea up
everyone.
long ago how far it's
I know.
And now it's
What
just
if
an
I'd never
annual
even
trip.
mentioned it? Who knows what would have happened?
My lives wouldn't be this great, honestly.
You're welcome. Justin. Come on,
Big W.
All right, so let's go ahead and bring it to an end. Bring it in for landing. Let's do it.
I like that.
Let's go ahead and do the Instagram
that was good.
handle train.
Well done, Adama.
Paige, where can we follow you on the Instagrams?
Well, you can find me at Almost Spotter Page. Yeah,
There's
I knew
one.
you were going to start
There's
doing
one.
that. My travel buddy, Adventures with Aileron.
There's two,
And my diecast model page, Paige Explains.
and there's three.
Yeah.
Any more? Are we losing any floaters out there that are maybe just like an outfit page? Maybe there's just like
No, not yet.
this is one where I just list the pants that I'm wearing. This is one where I just list the shirts that I'm wearing.
This is the one where I list all of the outfits I wear while I'm flying. This is my airport outfit page.
Here's me out in the cornfields.
What's
Yeah.
crazy is I think there is a weird demographic that would love that.
There probably would.
I'm
be.
sure. Yeah.
Shout out to the ladies in the house. What are we doing? Oh yeah, spotting Omaha. Spotting Omaha. Might posts. Look out! I know I've threatened for quite a while now, but
So
now that
many.
I've got even more in my arsenal.
Oh. You can follow me, photography by Adama D, or you can see me at the the Omaha Zoo. I'm
Yes.
hippopotamus now, so
It's a female.
it's
Yeah.
a female
A
hippopotamus.
female hippopotamus
Yeah.
was born in June, and its name is Adama.
Adama,
Makes sense, right?
right? And you can also follow us at the Exit Row Pod for all three of us here in Omaha, Nebraska. Thank you guys for listening to us. Please like, subscribe, share with your pets.
Specifically your corgis.
And corgis. Shout
Our
out to
Exit
Henry.
Row mascot, Henry the Loaf.
Shout out to the Lord and Savior Henry.
For us three, see ya.
Bye.